Why every business owner in Utah needs an LLC and how to do it right. Here's the bottom line. One signature can protect your assets or cause you to lose all of your assets. So if you can set up an LLC, you can do it online. Corporation.utah.gov, about $70, half hour's time, it's done. But it isn't done. Because all you get out of that is what's called articles of organization, which is just the paperwork of the state that says there's an LLC with this name, this is the registered representative, and maybe this guy is the member. And that's it. But what the state website doesn't create for you is an operating agreement. What a state website doesn't create for you are membership agreements about who's going to do what in the LLC. What a state, website doesn't give you is any guidance about different things about mixing funds, about what to sign. So I've had a couple of clients do some boneheaded things. They created an LLC, but they paid all of their expenses out of it, personal and business. Well, guess what? To creditors, that LLC doesn't exist anymore because it was just called an alter ego of him. So you got to keep things separate. You got to keep your books separate. You got to have a set of personal books and a personal bank account and business books and business bank accounts. You need to sit down with a tax guy, CPA type, and find out what deductions are legal and what aren't. What can I run through my business as a legitimate expense and what can't I? A lot of people try and run a car through the business. Well, you can do that sometimes if that's something your business needs and it meets the rules of the IRS. Better talk to an accountant, make sure that that's done right. Otherwise, you could have some problems tax-wise. The other thing that can happen is, an LLC gives you that protection that a business creditor can't come after you personally, but one signature on a personal guarantee to that creditor, that entity is gone and they can come after you personally. So before you sign anything with a supplier or a creditor, have an attorney review it. Have us review it. Make sure you're not signing a personal guarantee. Now, a lot of supply houses for contractors, I've got a lot of clients that are, in HVAC and plumbing and electrical and those kind of things and framers. The supply houses will usually require someone to sign a personal guarantee. Otherwise, you're not going to get the stuff. That's just an unfortunate reality of doing business today, is that supply houses have figured that out, that if they don't get a personal guarantee, they may not get paid. The other thing is one LLC enough? Maybe you need two, maybe three. You might need an LLC out of Wyoming or someone to give you greater protections. I've got a client right now, we set up two LLCs. One LLC held all his assets and that LLC took out an SBA loan. The other LLC was operating and marketing and held a few of his other assets. Well, guess what? His business has kind of dried up lately. He's not doing so great. So he's going to basically be able to jettison that LLC that had the SBA loan and those assets, and the bank's going to seize those assets, but the rest of his business is safe because we set some things up right. And he avoided personal guarantees. Now the SBA is going to make him sign one but that's easier to work with than losing the rest of your business at the same time. What other mistakes? Not having the right documentation. People will mess that up. They don't hold annual meetings. They don't have an operating agreement. There's just a lot of stuff that can be done. And you got to keep your records clean, two separate books. I've talked about that. You might, like I said, you may need more than one LLC given your situation. So if you've got any questions at all about business and structure, we'd be happy to sit down and have a consultation with you, give you some advice and direction. If you've already got an LLC because you went to that website, bring it to me. Let me get an operating agreement put together. Let me refer you maybe to a couple of CPAs that I know, like, and trust that do a lot of small business stuff to help make sure your books are right and your accounting's right. I know for me about 4.5 years ago, I did that. I got up some bookkeepers and CPAs to help me. Saved me a lot of money. I'm writing off of things that I didn't know I could write off. So getting an expert in both what I do is liability issues with an LLC, as well as a good tax advisor, can save you thousands of dollars and give you a lot of peace of mind and help and protection. Hey, my name is Travis Christiansen with Greater Zion Law by Boyack Christiansen. You can find us online at greaterzionlaw.com. We've got offices in St. George and Hurricane, and we're happy to help with LLC, small business stuff. We are a small business. One of our passions is helping other small businesses, so we would love to help you. Even if you're down the road a little ways, you just want to double check on what's going on, we would be glad to help with that as well. Anyway, I'm Travis. Look forward to hearing from you.